Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and not much to see out there this afternoon. We thought a lot of clouds move in around noontime or so, and our cloud deck has really lowered. It did lower throughout the afternoon. Now some showers all around north central Washington, and that was in our forecast as we went through the day today. Spring showers throughout our area, and that varied throughout whatever location you may be in. Some scattered showers also in Moses Lake at times today, and that is our scenario also as we move into tonight. We're not done with the wet weather yet. We'll talk more rain showers and some cooler temperatures coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Governor Jay Inslee orders a stay home, stay healthy mandate in an address to the state last night. Several area law enforcement agencies want you to know they won't be searching for and arresting people for violating that Jay Inslee stay-at-home order. The area's biggest tourism magnet is following the governor's example, and first responders have organized a unified command to coordinate plans, supplies, and resources for the Upper Valley in response to COVID-19. But first, we begin tonight. The body of a young woman found last week near Horse Lake Road is that of a Waterville teenager who went missing last year, and her death is considered suspicious. Police said she's 18-year-old Paulina Mosqueda, missing since October. Hikers found her remains March 17th off one of the Wenatchee Foothills hiking trails. She had to be identified by an autopsy. Mosqueda's family had not heard from her since October 14th. Her case remains under investigation by the Sheriff's Department in Chelan and Douglas County, along with the Wenatchee Police Department. One resident of the Colonial Vista Care Center in Wenatchee died Monday from coronavirus complications, and a second resident is tested positive for the illness. Administrators of Prestige Care at Colonial Vista said the residents, age 84 and 91, were transferred to Central Washington Hospital last week after showing symptoms of COVID-19. That's, of course, the respiratory illness related to the novel coronavirus. Both tested positive for the virus, and the surviving patient remains in hospital care. The death is the second coronavirus-related fatality in the Wenatchee Valley. A Quincy resident suffering from COVID-19 died March 7th at Central Washington Hospital. Meanwhile, two new coronavirus patients have emerged in Leavenworth. That brings a total to 9 positive cases of COVID-19 in the Wenatchee Valley. All but one of them residents are of Chelan County. The newly discovered patients were tested at Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth. The changing number of coronavirus cases comes as no surprise. Health experts say even with social restrictions like those ordered by Governor Jay Inslee, positive test results are expected to climb over the next few weeks as previous exposures come to light. Wenatchee Valley College announced yesterday that 2 of the 9 local patients are Wenatchee Valley College employees. Washington Governor Jay Inslee on Monday night took the unprecedented step of ordering millions of Washingtonians to stay home to slow the spread of COVID-19. The order sidelines employees in many industries while allowing employees in essential jobs to still go to work.
Good evening, my fellow Washingtonians. I'd like to speak to you directly tonight about the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a pandemic that threatens to overwhelm our society without decisive action. We've now confirmed that more than 2,000 Washingtonians have contracted the virus, and there are likely thousands more that have not yet been diagnosed. COVID-19 has taken more than 100 lives in our state, and that's a number that will continue to rise, unfortunately. We know our hearts ache for all of the Washingtonians and their families affected by this virus. And as we move forward, we cannot forget the losses that those families have suffered. This is a human tragedy on a scale we cannot yet project. So it's time to hunker down in order to win this fight. So tonight, I am issuing a stay-home order to fight this virus. This is Washington's stay home, stay healthy order. This includes a ban on all gatherings and closures of many businesses, unless those businesses are essential to the healthy functioning of our community.
But several area law enforcement agencies want you to know they won't be searching for and arresting people for violating Governor Jay Inslee's stay-at-home order. Inslee issued that order, as you just saw, Monday evening in response to the coronavirus outbreak. The Chelan and Grant County Sheriff's offices said rumors of enforcement checkpoints and martial law are just not true. Both agencies said they're not being asked to detain, arrest, or ticket people. The Chelan County statement further says when their deputies encounter people not complying with the order, they will simply remind them of the restrictions. The Quincy Police Department said they too view their role as educational. The sheriff's offices also said people working in jobs deemed essential will not need passes or licenses while they're out, despite rumors to the contrary. Well, in other news, the area's biggest tourism magnet is following the governor's example. Leavenworth Mayor Carl Floria issued a stay-at-home proclamation for the city late Monday. The order closes all public parks and urges all residents to shelter in place and non-essential businesses to close. It's a big step for a city that relies on tourism, where multiple hotels have temporarily closed and restaurants can only offer takeout service. Governor Inslee requires people to remain at home until at least April 6th. The Leavenworth order stays in place until health officials give the all clear. Well, first responders have organized a unified command to coordinate plans, supplies, and resources for the Upper Valley in response to COVID-19. Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue Chief Mick Lamar tells us what precautions the Upper Valley is taking to fight this virus and what sacrifices all of us will have to make to overcome it.
Our fire district is part of an incident management team that includes people from all over the county, as well as the state, health department, school district, hospitals, ambulance services, other fire districts, and law enforcement. These are multiple collaborative efforts to try and make sure we stay abreast of the situation. We have had to adopt and become flexible in our response modeling. So if we do come to your home during an emergency, instead of seeing 3 or 4 firefighters enter your residence, you may be down to only a single firefighter making contact to make sure we can confirm exactly what the emergency is. We are asking you to do some things for us. The first is wash your hands frequently. Cover any coughs or sneezes. If you're sick, please stay at home and isolate yourself from the community. Please follow all social distancing requirements, 6 feet between folks, and stay out of the public as much as possible. While doing that, we're asking you to check on your neighbors. We know we have many vulnerable people in our neighborhoods only because of their age or underlying conditions, but we need to check on them. No longer knocking on the door, entering their residence, but maybe just telephonic phone calls, emails, text, some way to check on them and make sure they have everything they need. We do have some concerns, to be quite truthful. We are a rural area. We have a rural EMS system, and the metropolitan areas are going to have high demands. While we currently have personal protective equipment, it will become limited and may be short in supply in the near future. So please be patient with the list of questions. We are here to serve you. I am thankful to live in this community that helps each other, but we are all in a big problem right now. We all have to help each other, and I think we will get through this as long as we are disciplined and vigilant.
Coming up next, Okanagan County's PUD won't raise its electric rates as scheduled in light of the coronavirus emergency. 14 inmates in the Yakima County Jail used a table to break open a fire door Monday night, then hopped over a fence. And the state announced Sunday it's closing all state campgrounds through April 30th to help reduce the spread of COVID-19. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Welcome back. In another news, Okanagan County's PUD won't raise its electric rates as scheduled in light of the coronavirus emergency. The 2.9% increase for households was due to go into effect May 1st, giving the PUD an additional 2% in yearly revenue. But on Monday, the PUD board voted to suspend all rate increases and cease disconnections that would have gone ahead due to non-payment. Other utilities around north central Washington have taken similar steps.
Man, this was good. They left on the popo. Damn. Run, homies, run.
14 inmates in the Yakima County Jail used a table to break open a fire door Monday night, then hopped over a fence. Freedom was temporary for 8 of the inmates who were quickly recaptured, but 6 still remain at large. Sheriff Robert Udell said the men were fearful of the governor's stay-at-home order.
From Yakima County Sheriff's Office, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about an unfortunate issue we had earlier today. About 7 o'clock, several inmates, in excess of 12 inmates, decided that they were no longer going to be housed in Yakima County Jail, and they decided to break down the door and leave. Now, despite the governor's shelter-in-place or stay-at-home order, apparently they didn't want to do that, so they are out and about, and we need your help to get these guys back in custody, because we don't know what they're going to be doing when we haven't our eyes on them. So here are our 6 offenders still in the wind. Number 1 on our list, Miguel Angel Chavez Amezcua. He's 27 years old. He's from Moses Lake. Could be headed back there? Not sure. Keep your eyes open for this guy right here. Possibly a relative, 28 years old from Yakima, Hugo Alejandro Amezcua Hernandez. Again, 28 years old. He may be with his buddy. Keep your eyes open. Number 3 in our top 6 list of people we want back in Yakima, Fernando Gustavo Castaneda Sandoval, 31 years old. He is a native of Yakima area, so I'm guessing he's going to be somewhere close. Number 4, sporting a very fashionable Nike sweatshirt, Neftali Sarano. He's 27 years old from Yakima. I'm not sure if he's got the Nike swoosh right now, but he's out there. Watch for him. Number 5, Andrew Derek Wolfley, 26 years old from Union Gap. Maybe he's back in Union Gap. Maybe he's with one of these other guys. If you see him, give us a call. And the last one, with a nice marijuana tattoo on his face, Tyrone Adam Mulvaney. He's 34 years old from Moses Lake. Maybe he's headed back there. Maybe not. If you see that tattoo, give us a call. Please, 911 or our business line 574-2500. Then hit the 0 on your keypad. Help us get these guys back in the Yakima County Jail where they'll be safe.
The state announced Sunday it's closing all state campgrounds through April 30th to help reduce the spread of COVID-19. The closure includes roofed accommodations like cabins and yurts. No new campers will be allowed into campgrounds operated by Washington State Parks, the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and the Department of Natural Resources. Day use areas and trails remain open, though the state urged people to practice social distancing. Anyone who has a reservation through April 30th will be contacted and offered a refund. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
The two hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. Two more reasons when it comes to buying a truck: there's no reason to leave town.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to that, beautiful shot outside our weather window looking out from our cross camera at a very cloudy Wenatchee Valley. And temperatures today, they stayed down because of that cloud cover. We did see highs today only in the lower 50s. 51 today, below where we should be at 57. 34 is where we started. 37 is our normal low temperature. Sunrise 6:54, and the sun will set tonight at 7:20. Let's take a peek at how your Wednesday shapes up. And it's going to be a lot like today, except not as cloudy. We'll see a little bit more sun for Wednesday. You'll get to that in a second, but temperatures about the same. 55 in Moses Lake, 54 for Ephrata, 52 in Wenatchee and down into Ellensburg. A little bit cooler in the upper elevations of the Upper Valley. 51 for Entiat, and 50 your high temperature tomorrow in Chelan. Surface loop now, and there's a lot to show you over the next 5 or 6 days. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. It will be calm. Most of the shower activity that we saw today and we're seeing in our early evening hours will move off to the east, so clearing skies for us tonight. Overnight lows about where we should see them for this time of year. For Wednesday, mostly sunny as that storm system moves away. We'll see a northwest breeze tomorrow, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. It will be mild ahead of this next frontal boundary that's moving in, and which should bring us some wind as we get into Thursday. Not bad, though. We're talking breezes here in north central Washington, maybe 10 to 15 miles an hour. Here's that storm system, though, as it makes its way into the North Pacific Northwest, and that means mostly cloudy skies for Friday. It will warm up. We are seeing high pressure bringing warm air up into Washington State, so the warm air mixing with some Arctic air above us, that'll kick off some showers, especially as we get into Saturday. A 30% chance for mainly evening showers on Saturday. Once again, it will be warmer as we tickle that 60-degree mark on Saturday. Even nicer for Sunday, but our chance for rain goes up to 50%, and we could see some heavier rain in western Washington, but look at these temperatures. That's 70 down in the southeastern part of the state. We won't be quite that warm, but I think we will be around 60, maybe even into the lower 60s, and we're going to stay warm for Monday too. Mostly cloudy skies though, and a 40% chance for, I think, just mainly morning showers, and it will be warmer once again as this great big storm system moves our way, but it won't do much for us. It's going to get kicked down to the south. Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast, 32 tonight, 52 for tomorrow, breezy for Thursday and 53. We'll go all the way up into the upper 50s to near 60 this weekend, but expect wet weather. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. When you want to escape from reality, make a Crown Line boat your choice of entertainment. Enjoy time with a friend in your socially distant boat. With low interest rates and lower gas prices, now's the time to buy. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Well, a happy Tuesday to you. It is an interesting time in which many people are working from home today, as I am, trying to stay home and stay healthy. Here's what's happening in the world of sports. The International Olympic Committee announced this morning that it's finally official that the Tokyo Games this summer, set for July and August, will not happen. And the postponement announced today by Thomas Bach, the International Olympic Committee president, who had a message directly to the athletes.
We all will be able to celebrate Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, even if it's only in 21. But finally, you can be sure that you can make your Olympic dream coming true. Today, I had a telephone conversation with Prime Minister Abe. There we agreed in the analysis of the development of the virus in the last couple of days, where we see a dramatic increase and outbreak in Africa, in South America, in Oceania, and in many parts of the world. And feeling with all these people whose life is affected so much, who have so much uncertainty, who fear of their existence, and in order to safeguard the health of the athletes and everybody involved in the Olympic Games, and to make a contribution to the containment of the coronavirus, we agreed to postpone the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 to 21, latest summer 21.
So no games here for 2020 for the Summer Olympics. I was able to get out last weekend with my wife Marion and do some social distancing, and we found that the lakes at Potholes Reservoir, as well as many of the camping spots, were also filled with people trying to get out, get some fresh air, and get away from others. Marion and I decided to do a little social separation and distancing and get ourselves out to Potholes Reservoir and see if we could catch some walleye this weekend. We camped and launched right off of Road M at the Lynn Coulee. Oh yeah, nice fish. Okay, need the net, babe. Nothing wrong with this. That's a good eater walleye right there.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It's been a long time between fish. This is only our second fish on of the day, and we're late in the afternoon now. We're fishing off of Medicare Beach. We saw a whole bunch of boats here. Figured there must be something going on. So, but we've been here, what, an hour and a half? Something like that. But fish on here. So, this one's got a good fight to it. I don't know. I'm seeing color already. That usually is an indicator of a good-sized fish, and it is a good-sized fish. Holy cow. Catch that one on camera. Holy cow. This is my biggest walleye ever.
You want me to help?
Nope.
Here, fishy. Oh. I'll take the pull.
Got it.
Oh, look at his excitement.
That's our weekend. Hopefully you're safe and sane wherever you are and get a little social distancing as well, maybe out on the water. Social distancing has become the popular phrase for folks who enjoy the great outdoors, whether it be walking, hiking, bicycling, kayaking, or fishing. Those who like to do it outdoors think that's the perfect way to maintain their social distance from others. Although it might be a little more difficult to do it here in these times. Chelan County PUD has closed its parks. The state lands are now closed to recreation and camping. And the Lake Roosevelt National Recreation Area says it's removing all of its docks from the banks and reservoirs and closing federal campgrounds and restrooms there. Essentially, that basically puts a halt to fishing in all of north central Washington. The Department of Fish and Wildlife still trying to get clarification from the governor's stay-home advisory and what that means to the fishing and hunting seasons that are going on and are expected to start soon. Well, the Seahawks made their biggest splash so far in free agency with a trade with the Washington Redskins. Seattle traded its fifth pick for this year's 2020 draft to pick up cornerback Quinton Dunbar. The undrafted free agent became a Redskin in 2015 out of Florida as a wide receiver. Washington turned him into a defensive back, and Dunbar had his best year a year ago, 14th best coverage corner in the NFL. He comes to Seattle with 1 year remaining on a $3.3 million contract. Dunbar is expected to compete with Trey Flowers for the starting job with the Seahawks. Here's a reminder what's coming up on the NCWLIFE sports broadcast schedule this week, starting with baseball tonight. Joel Norman has the play-by-play as Eastmont entertained Eisenhower from a year ago in April at Dan White Field. We'll have that at 7 o'clock. We'll feature soccer at Wildcat Stadium on Thursday night when we'll re-air Eastmont and Moses Lake. And then don't forget, Wild Weekend coming up, 5 Wenatchee Wild games from the Town Toyota Center from this past season in the BCHL. It'll start on Friday night at 7 o'clock and then continue through 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday against Penticton, Prince George, and Nanaimo. The game times on Saturday and Sunday are at 2 and at 7 p.m. I'm Eric Granstrom with NCWLIFE Channel Sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Even though there is a stay-at-home order, we are going to be working. We are considered essential, which is somewhat flattering in a way. And to that end, we're going to be practicing safe interviewing techniques for the foreseeable future. My guest tomorrow will be Leslie Freitag, the Executive Director of the Pybus Public Market, but I'm going to be speaking with Leslie via Skype so we can keep ourselves safely apart from each other. Leslie will be my guest tomorrow. Have a good and safe Wednesday. Start your day live and local here tomorrow with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Look forward to seeing you then, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.